Hi guys, welcome back. So if you've been following us recently, you do know that we've been to Rio. We have amazing footage of that trip. You can see them in part 1, 2 or 3. Click on the link somewhere on the page so you can watch those videos. This video is going to be a breakdown of anything you need to know all about Rio if you're going to be traveling there, so stay tuned for more information. I have my notes here, so please bear with me looking down. My number one advice for the person traveling to Rio is try blend in as much as possible. Avoid wearing jewelry, don't wear rings, earrings, necklaces, nothing at all. Dress down and blend in with the locals. Now, the typical places that you have to visit when in Rio are obviously the Sugarloaf and the Christ. Here's a good tip. Start from the Sugarloaf and then go to the Christ. What we did is we found a guide that actually took us there with his private taxi because taxis can be expensive. So check the description link below because I don't want to bore you. Just check the description link with all the information about how you can do what we did. You also have to see Copacabana Beach. It has the beautiful sidewalk and it's a great experience. Ipanema Beach is also a must-see. On Sundays, I believe, there is a very nice fair next to the beach where you can buy souvenirs and taste some street food. So it's a definite yes. If you are a parent, here's a good tip. Make sure you bring enough food for your baby and also a kiddie pool because you can place the baby in the shade while playing in the water. For yourself, you can find any food, any drinks, even bikinis and beach throngs just like this one, which you can buy at the beach. Another place you must see are the botanical gardens. They have beautiful scenery and it can be a very calm visit. Lagoa Rodrigo Freitas is the lagoon. It's in the middle of the city. It has beautiful surroundings. You can rent bikes. It's a very relaxed area. So you could definitely do that by yourself or even if you have a family. They have very nice bikes like these ones that you can ride. Escadaria Serralón is a beautiful place where you must go to take some pictures with the amazing steps. And if you're interested in the nightlife, the typical Brazilian nightlife, you should definitely check out Lapa. Now, you don't have to do all these things by yourself if you don't feel safe. What you could do is a guided city tour. I'm sure local companies also offer this service. So other interesting things you can do in Rio, you can do a guided favela tour. Don't go by yourself, make sure it's guided. Personally, I wasn't interested in doing this, but I know a lot of people do and it can be something fun. Hang gliding from São Conrado. This is amazing. We couldn't do this because of Rio, but it's definitely on my bucket list. You can see very beautiful views of the city with a helicopter ride, so do consider that as an option. And if I were you, I would attend a school of samba. You could see their practice for Carnaval and also try and see a capoeira show. Football fanatics and those who are not, you can also visit the Maracanã Stadium. And a good thing about Rio is that you can rent bikes and you can just visit the city via bicycle. Do be aware of your stuff in the basket because of pickpockets. If you're into museums, there are also a couple you could see, such as the National Museum of Fine Arts, there's the Metropolitan Cathedral, and also the Museu do Futuro, Museum of the Future. Here are my tips as a local to you. If you have time to go further than Rio City, these places are real gems. My uncle lives in Rio das Ostras. This is 3 hours away from the Rio City Center. It's a very quiet area, but a more touristic place is Búzios and Cabo Frio and Arraial do Cabo. These places have amazing beaches, they're packed with tourists. The nightlife is great, so if I were you, you should definitely check these places out if you do have the time. When we went, we scored an amazing boat tour. It was very cheap. We ate at the harbor for about 12 reais. We saw turtles and amazing beaches. It was great. Definitely do it if you have the time. Oh, and if you're a parent and you have a baby with you, the boat trip is totally doable with a baby if at least you have one person helping you get on and off the boat at the beaches. Another hidden gem is Ilha Grande. This is on the side of Mangaratiba. You should definitely check this out even for a day tour. They have beautiful beaches and beautiful nature. Ideally, you should go camping there for a couple of days, but you don't always have the time to do that. Definitely go on a day tour. The place we went stand-up paddleboarding is Clubinho Marambaya. I'll include the address and the Facebook link in the description below. Check that out. It was a great afternoon. You can buy drinks, buy food, and just paddle or hire a canoe. It was great. Totally doable with a baby. Now, if you want to really see amazing views of the city, what I would suggest you do is go on trilhas. These are hikes. So the one we did was Pedra do Telégrafo. It was a very steep hill. We got lost a couple of times, but it was fun. It was totally doable with Leo. Matt and I kept switching with Leo on the ergo, so he was comfortable all the way to the top, and we saw that amazing scenery. It was breathtaking. You'll find many other options, and you can go on guided tours as well. Just be careful because sometimes you have to go through favelas in order to go on these hikes. So make sure you always go on a guided tour and never go by yourself. So those are my tips about places you should visit, guys. The following are just a bunch of advice that I would give any friend of mine which would be traveling there. So beware of going unknown places by yourself, especially at night. Don't carry your phone around in your hand. Don't make yourself an easy target. Avoid wearing jewelry, like I already said. And don't keep all your money in the same place. Be prepared for a bit of a cultural shock. There is a lot of poverty that you may see in Rio. There's a lot of homeless people. You will see many children in the streets, so it can be something that can affect you deeply. Many people will approach you asking for money. You have no obligation to give them anything. And something that happened to us, we were buying food at the train station, and this woman approached us asking for money. If you're feeling generous and you want to give something, just do it, okay? But keep in mind someone might be watching you, and many others can come and ask you for money as well. So a good alternative option is to offer that person something to eat. Now, if you're driving, like I said, there will be a lot of street vendors, and most often these will also be children just selling you gum or cleaning your windscreen. Keep some coins just so that you can give them something. A bit of an unspoken rule in Rio is we drive past red lights, especially, if there's no cars in front of you, of course. If there's a red light, no one's coming, you just drive through. Keep your doors locked as well if this is at night and you're stopping, because it can be dangerous depending on the suburb you're in. As you all know, mosquitoes are a thing in Rio. We have everything from dengue, chikungunya, Zika. Don't leave your country without a really good bug spray, especially if you're traveling with kids. Leo was in bug spray all the time. You just have to do it. Something I want you to be aware of is something that we call arrastão. This is something that happens at the beach. Let's say you're at Copacabana Beach and all of a sudden you see a big group of people just running through the crowd, running through the people at the beach. Those are people stealing stuff. So most often there's also children in that crowd. So what they do is they just run through the people, they just grab whatever they can and run. So if I were you, if you do notice this sort of activity, just try get away from that so that you're not involved in the chaos. Taxis. Try and set a price before you get in the taxi rather than depending on the meter, because they can be quite costly. And the good thing you should do is keep a copy of your passport with you and leave your original at the hotel. If you need to withdraw money, there are bank ATMs, but I was a bit paranoid in using those because I always think someone is watching me. So what I did, I preferred using the ATMs in the shopping centers because it's a bit of a more relaxed environment, and I prefer doing that personally. And last but not least, guys, something I want you to remember is if you do ever get dropped when in Rio, just give it to them. Whatever they're asking for, don't argue. You never know what the person is capable of, so nothing is worth more than your safety. So just let go. So guys, that was all my advice that I have for you. I don't want to discourage you with any of the things I said. Please don't be discouraged to travel to Rio. It's a beautiful place. It's just that you have to be alert about many things because they are a reality about the country. I hope that everything I mentioned was of good value to you and that it helps you when you plan your trip to Rio. Make sure you see our original videos, part 1, 2, and 3. They are beautiful. And subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye for now.